BC7 here, welcome back to the channel, and as promised I have a little bit of footage here from my drone. I have a Syma X8C, and this first bit, it's really kind of crappy. This is the original camera that comes with it. It's a 2 megapixel, but it has real issues adjusting to light. In fact, those black bands you saw are a good indicator of that. That's just the shadows running across the propellers and onto the lens. And yeah, these are Canada geese up here, and although I do go over to visit them, I do realize when I get close that it's a silly idea. One, they are incredibly vicious, as all Canadians know, and two, well, as all commercial airliners know, there's nothing like a Canada goose in the old turbine to really make your day go awry. But, and speaking of which, yes indeed, the footage you will see here, although not much of it, is from Powell River, British Columbia, Canada, where I currently reside and have in fact spent many delightful years. And being a Canadian, I'm going to sort of jump across the line here just a little bit because you are my viewers after all, and let you know a little secret. You know that whole thing about how we're all so sort of really polite and really friendly and all of that? Truth is, we're smug. We have to be. Where we live is huge. Here's the camera I bought for it. This is an SJCam 4000. Same field. But yeah, we're kind of smug because we know that no matter what, we're huge. I mean, we're bigger than Australia, and it's a continent. You know, almost 15 times the size of France. But this is my private quadcopter field. I mean, that's just the way. No, I'm just kidding, of course. No, this is actually a school that was closed down many years ago. But they bring a nice John Deere tractor down here in a really wonderful mower and keep nice condition. And other than the Canada geese we saw in the last video, no one else lives here. So, Powell River, British Columbia, other than having beautiful private quadcopter parks and amazing trees. By the way, the inner ring of trees are about 30 to 50 feet. These tall guys, yeah, they are tall. We do have some real live trees back here. But for a country that's so big, this town's just a little on the small side. In fact, the 2000 and I believe it was 2009 census, something like that. They had one after that, but everybody just sort of stayed behind the door and went, there's nobody here but the cat, and they weren't going to say there was 10,000 cats living here, so maybe next year. But we actually have about 13,000 people here as of the 2009 census. That's okay, I guess. I like it. And we've been around here for a long time, actually. For a place this small, in the middle of nowhere that no one's heard of, we've been here a long time. In fact, since about 1908. That's when it was decided that this would be a heck of a good place to make a pulp and paper mill. I don't know, maybe it was all these trees. I don't know what possesses these people. But needless to say, 1912, and our first roll of newsprint, which is the paper we printed here more than anything else, rolled off the first of our paper machines, and it's been kind of a uphill, downhill, sideways, I'm not sure, but it's grown, it's prospered, it's faded, it's prospered, it's become kind of famous in its own little way. In fact, it has a couple of rather distinguishing things. It was named, well, the little town site anyway, near the mill here, still a thriving little community, was actually named a National Heritage Town in, when was it? 1995, I believe, making it only one of 7 in the entire country. So that's kind of cool. In, when was it? I think, 2004? We were named the cultural capital of the country. Just because we put on so many film festivals, we sponsor art shows, it's just, yeah, like I said, for a place nobody's ever heard of and no one knows how to get to, we're pretty famous. But that was back then. Oh, and one other thing. There's a Powell River down across the line there in the US of A, and it was likely named after some famous explorer or, you know, something. Powell River here was actually named after, well, a fellow named Israel Wood Powell. who was in fact the superintendent of Indian Affairs at the time, which again is like, 1908. So there you go. And ooh, that's what they call vortex ring state. Because of the way quadcopters work, they get a little bit of a nasty piece of air under them, and if you drop into it too quickly, you can really get in trouble. You need to pitch forward real fast. This is a very stable quadcopter. I really do like it. It works quite well. The camera I have on it now I'm happy with, but I don't know. That's the pilot that came with it, and he's really not very bloody good. I would have thought he'd had some experience or something. I don't know. But here we are. So yeah, and this area that I'm in is called Cranberry, and it's where I actually live. I live just around the corner and up the road, as a matter of fact. And yeah, as I say, pretty much any day, even a beautiful day like we have here in the middle of a wonderful sunny afternoon, there's not a soul around. We have, off the top of my head, maybe a dozen lakes in the little bit of land this occupies. The only way to get here is by plane or by boat, and there's ferry service, comes in from Vancouver up the peninsula and then across from Gibson's. Or if you happen to come up Vancouver Island, where our capital city is, Victoria. In fact, it's about 20 miles west and about 100 miles south of me. And oddly enough, for the capital city of this province, it's about the least Canadian thing in the whole country, well, except for Quebec, and we don't really talk about that out here in BC. But my buddy Ian Robson knows the place. He lives closer than I do. But yeah, this is quite the place. And I think here pretty quick I'll take you over and show you the big money maker here in town. So yeah, I think a dozen lakes in the little stretch we have between Vancouver Island, where the road ends in a little place called Lund, to where the other end of the road ends in a little place called Sultry Bay. Yes, indeed. Some 20-something kilometers of road altogether. So yeah, I used to have a really fast bike. I used to purposely see if I could do it in under 7 minutes from here. Here we are. I'm now at the helipad of the abandoned hospital grounds. Are you getting the theme here? Well, it's not really abandoned, actually. They tore it down a few decades ago when they found out that just about everything in it was made of asbestos. But that's another story. Here's our mill. You can see off there in the distance sort of a ring of boats. That's our world-famous hulks. They're actually World War II vessels that were all chained there, and then a liberal dose of cement was applied. There used to be a bunch more of them. We sold a couple, and rumor has it one or two sort of drifted off. But yeah, we don't talk about that either. So kind of like the train car full of chlorine that went down in the strait. Just through that steam there from the power plant is Texada Island, an incredibly mineral-rich deposit that pokes its snout out of the water. And there's the famous heritage site, the town site. There's the world's shortest river. Yeah, you really got to look quick to see that one, because it is short, although unfortunately that was decades ago. This used to be the largest pulp and paper mill in the world. In fact, 1 out of every 25 newspapers in the entire planet used the newsprint made here. That river you see, that was once considered the shortest river in the world, and often the distance between those mountains is the deepest man-made lake in the world. Amazing. Well, that was a few decades ago. We went from employing over 3,000 people with 12 active paper machines to just over 200 people. And we have 2 machines, one of which is active all the time, and the other one, well, when they need it, they use it. And yeah, they've found, I think, 3 rivers that are shorter, with still the deepest man-made lake in the world. The average depth, I believe, is well over 900 feet. So, but yeah, that's there's me again. And that sort of covers what we've got here. I will be bringing you more footage. I'm really new at this, and I'm also really nervous about the fact that that package I've got floating up in the air It cost me about what my little car there did, which is to say next to nothing, but hey. So, if you enjoyed, please hit the like button. I've been Species7. This has been my little look at Powell River. Thanks, guys. Ciao for now.